Problem 7. A school has 100 students and 5 teachers. In the first period, each student is taking one class and each teacher is teaching one class. So it's a one-to-one correspondence. The enrollments in the class are 50, 20, 25, and 5. Let T be the average obtained if a teacher is picked at random and the number of students in their class is noted. Let S be the average value obtained if a student was picked at random and the number of students in their class, including the student, is noted. What is T minus S? So obviously we need to solve for the respective values of T and S. So let's start with T. How do you interpret the average value first of all? Well, the average value in this case is telling me number of students per teacher. And this is the average value that we're trying to solve for. So for one teacher. And given this information, how do we solve it further? Well, we know that obtained if a teacher is picked at random and the number of students in the class is noted. So that means the number of students must be noted, which for each class would total 50 plus 20 plus 20 plus 5 plus 5 divided by the number of teachers teaching each class, which is 5. Now, the definition of an average in the first place is equal to the sum of numbers divided by the number of numbers. So this information will correspond to this value because every teacher is teaching one class. So the 5 teachers are teaching each of these 5 classes right here. And we also know that we're trying to find the students in each class. So we must sum each student up and divide by 5 to get the average number of students per class. This would give you 100 divided by 5, which will give you 20. So now we have T, let's solve for S. What is S? Well, if we're trying to solve for S, then we need to consider what it means for a student to be picked at random and the number of students in the class, including the student to be noted. If the student is to be noted, then we're no longer dividing it by 5 because the 5 is representing the teacher being picked at random. Now it's the student being picked at random. So if I were to have the first class of 50 students, then including the 50 students, one must have 50 in the numerator. But divided by the denominator, that must be the fraction that 50 corresponds to in the entire school, which would be 100. And please pause if you don't understand what this means, because remember, 50 is the choice of that first class, and then 50 over 100 is the proportion that the 50 students hold within the entire school, which corresponds to the word of number of students in their class, including the student. We cannot say 49 because that would exclude one of the 50 students. So we will continue this for each of the classes. This would be 20 times 20 over 100, but multiply this by 2 because you have two 20s, and then you must add 2 times 5 times 5 over 100. So given this, we can solve for S. S will just be equal to, if we cancel this out, we get 2, so that will be 25, plus this becomes, this gets rid of, that is 5, that's 4 plus 8 plus 50, and then that would be what? That would be plus 1/2, so that's 33 plus half, which is just equal to 33.5. So 33.5 is S, and T is 20. So we must subtract this to get our answer, which is negative 8.5, or rather 7.5. No, wait, what am I doing? 33.5, 20, right? So that's 13.5. I do not know what happened there. It should be negative 13.5, so that should be answer choice B, and we are done.